Welcome back to the broadcast. Still discussing overcoming the odds of HIV and AIDS, and with me, the director of Kipewa, that is Kiambu People Living with HIV and AIDS, that is Grace Waruguru Kiarie, and Sarah McKenna Ngigi, who's openly decided to share her story. I know you probably have heard of these stories, but we keep saying that we have a long way to go in terms of making our young turks understanding that HIV and AIDS is real, and that in as much as you can go out there and say it's all right, you'll get medicine, you'll get the commodities, as Sarah would say, it's also important to take care. I remember we've had the First Lady pushing on drives where we can zero the number, get it to zero rate. But like I had said earlier on, we still are living a careless life. I mean, in as much as there's medicine, in as much as you can live a normal life, is there anything that you would tell someone, be careful in life? Is there a point where you'd get and say, it's all right, it looks all rosy, but there are challenges that come along with that?
I think people tend to think because now there's the preventive commodities, the PrEP, the PEP, they can just play with life venye tu anataka. Yeah. I was working in a hospital setup, and you would find on Monday the university kids, the college kids wameja. Kiwauliza ni condom bust. But as a counselor ukiongea na wao watakwambia I just had sex with somebody I don't know. And it is because wanajua hata nikiifanya kesho nitaenda husini nipate PEP. Ama mwingine atapata PrEP. And I would like to say hizi dawa ukizizoea sana zinaweza fanya kukosa kufanya kazi. So PEP or PrEP si kitu ya kuchezewa. So you find that as much as anakujia dawa atakujia the first time ameze, after then a month mpate tena, and this is where we usually do an intensive counseling. Unajaribu kumwonyesha ndio hii dawa utaitumia, but because it's like now you are misusing it, kuna mahali itafika itafanya kazi tena. So you find there are so many young people right now who are testing positive because walicheza tu na PEP, they didn't care because kuna PEP, and the HIV bado inaambukizanwa daily na namba ni kubwa sana. And I would like to tell people, when you once get HIV positive, it will never be negative. Nimemeza dawa for the 16 years na sijai enda hosi ati nikapimwa nikaambiwa niko negative. What usually happens ni ukimeza dawa zako vizuri, the viral load is undetectable, meaning the amount of virus in your body is undetectable, meaning you're very healthy like a person who is HIV positive. So it's good to live on your negative HIV status
as opposed
to the HIV positive.
Right.
And also you try to tell them there's this drug burden. Tumemeza dawa for all those years, but sometimes you feel easy dawa. Ni kama ukule githeri leo, kesho kutwa, inachokesha, but unajiambia lazima because I have a future, I have to live my dreams, my visions zote lazima ni accomplish in life. So I would like to tell people wasicheze na sex tu kiholela kwa sababu kuna PEP ama kuna PrEP. Let them do the right thing, and if you have to have sex, use a condom. Yeah, because once you test positive, it will always be positive
the rest of time.
It is very easy to stay HIV negative, but once you're positive, you're positive. You will never turn to be negative again. But you can stay negative for the rest of your life if you like.
If you choose to. Wanasema kuna maombi utaomba sijui. Those are terrible lies. Those are terrible lies. So then Kipewa comes in, and we just wonder, how then do you sustain all these activities? How then do you get these women to speak? Of course, you say some of them are spoken to, these men are spoken to by, persons who understand them well. So here we are. How do you run these programs?
We run the programs with partners.
Okay.
Yeah, we have partners. We're always writing proposals. And if somebody is convinced that we're doing a good job, then they are welcome to come on board.
Yeah.
Plus, we also have government support. So what happens when we have that kind of support, then we're able to reach more people. And how do we reach more people? As I said, we use community health workers who are HIV positive. And what we do, the model we use is, if she's in Tinganga, then she's allowed to start a support group around Tinganga. And because we are working with hospitals like Kiambu Hospital, and the community health workers are there in the morning to give health talks.
Yeah.
So they are the contact person who will then be able to identify the people who are testing today positive in hospital, and then bring them to Kipewa. And once they're in Kipewa, then they'll be directed to the community health worker in their area.
All right.
Yeah.
Why no? I mean, why are they not making adjustments to levels where maybe some of them can be coming to Kipewa direct to access their commodities and probably just access all this that they'd want to get in hospital on this and that?
First of all, we don't do drugs.
Okay.
The drugs are given by the hospital.
Yeah.
So what we do, how we work with the hospital, is to ensure that once you give these clients their drugs, and you give us we are working with the hospital, so we have the mandate to support them at the community level, because we are community based, and ensure that they are taking their drugs, ensure they're in a support group, follow them up if they are not taking their drugs. We have something called defaulter tracing.
Right.
So because they're in the community, they'll be able to know Rose has not been taking her medicine.
Okay.
Why? So they follow them up, because it's so important to have them adhere well to their medication, so that now they're able to live better lives.
Right.
And apart from just the treatment part, also the socio-psycho part, which is very important. And that's why we group them into support groups. Yes, and I agree with you. Because of all these measures, people tend to be a bit careless.
Right.
Yeah, I remember some months ago, a young girl was texting on Messenger, "What can I do? I just tested 1 month ago that I'm HIV positive. What can I take to remove it?"
Wow.
I was so sad. I told her, "Sweetheart, it can't.
It can't.
It can't come out.
Yeah.
It's already there. What we need to do is just sit and talk and then see the way forward."
Yeah.
Of course, she never got back. So she blocked us. So it's real. It's still there. It's real. I know right now we are concentrating on COVID, but even the other diseases are there,
That's
like
equally
HIV,
important.
and we can't, ignore them. Somebody today will test positive for sure, and they need the support.
They do.
Yeah, even as much as we are talking about, they still need the support today. So we have to balance.
So in this support group, then you have to cater for their emotional well-being, the troubles that they have in back at home. They probably come here and they cry and they say this. Some of them do not even want to accept that this is what is happening to me. Like you say, one of them blocked you. It breaks your heart to imagine that she proceeded to a different direction. You never know whether she committed suicide. You never know whether she got to a point of acceptance. You never know whether she takes her medicine or what. You never know whether she is eating healthy and all these things. How do you just get them together? How do you just get them staying there for the rest of time? Are there times you've struggled with some of them who disappear?
Oh, yeah, we do. And especially like 3 months ago, we lost a young girl around 17.
Okay.
Do you know, from the time she was 8, she was in Kipewa. We've struggled with her, the hospital and us, just trying to follow her up. Then you give her medicine. She was living with her grandmother. She would go and hide the medicine. Then the grandmother would bring the medicine. We struggled until finally she died because she refused to adhere to the medication regimen. So it happens, and not just the young girls, even old, like, was it last year? We had, I think, like 5 suicides, and 3 attempted.
Okay.
So somebody comes for counseling and they say, "I just found out my husband has been cheating. Now I'm HIV positive. How will I do? I want to commit suicide," So the psychosocial support is very key. We have a HTS counselor and we have a counseling psychologist. So the two of them help the clients to deal with their emotional status. Because if you don't deal with the emotional status and address what they are thinking about, we always say at Kipewa, if you can win the battle in the mind, then you've won the whole battle. They need to start thinking different. I'm HIV positive. I'm still alive. I can live. I'm HIV positive. I can do everything I want because the medicine is there. There are people who can support me because the support system is very key. Support system at home and from organizations like ours.
Yeah.
And for people like McKenna, as you've heard, if you have support from the house,
even better.
You're good to go. Those people who don't have support from their homes are the ones that have a problem accepting their status.
Wow.
This is what we have realized. So our emphasis always is, tell somebody from your family, your sister, your brother, you know,
Oh,
tell
open up
somebody.
to them.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that now they give you the support.
Okay.
Because I think, you know, HIV has that thing, you did something wrong.
Wrong,
You
yes, there's that mentality that
you had sex.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and
Yeah.
everybody is having sex.
That's
you had
true.
sex.
Yeah.
So now you have this HIV.
Yeah.
And it's something we don't want to talk about. So
Yeah.
people still want to hide, you know. So the minute they open up to somebody in the family, they are good to go. They are good to go. Even one of the criteria we used to get people to be community health workers is, have you told somebody from your family?
Let's speak about your family right at, you know, that, is it nuclear
Yes.
aspect, yeah? The other kids that are okay, the 17-year-old, you and the dad, and how you have all come to a point of accepting this. I can imagine that probably in as much as the 17-year-old has probably gotten to a point of acceptance and she knows that this is not my mistake in any way and all that, as of course Madam Director would say, is that notion in society that really needs to be rooted out. How has she accepted this? And I mean, she is okay, 100%? Okay,
what we did when we found that we are HIV positive, our kids were very young. I think my firstborn was in class 4 or 5, and they could see us taking the commodities, so we disclosed to them as little as they were.
Yeah.
So they came up learning that kuna dad na magi na mama wanameza, so they came learning pole pole. Sahi they are grown-ups, they have their own families, they know. And I would like to say that the kid anajua kwa nini anameza dawa. Although that sometimes there was, I think this year aliniuliza, dadi kwani yeye anamezanga dawa. I think hakuwa anaona babake akimeza dawa. Nikamwambia anameza. Akaniuliza ni zenye tu tunamezanga. Kamwambia ndio. So it comes at a point atajua, but pia kuna kitu anataka kujua more from you as a parent. And this is where I always tell parents to disclosure. Disclosure should come at from 6 years. Kuna watoto wenye tu hata shule yeye ushika mambo haraka, so huyo mtoto unajua venye utamhandle. You wouldn't just disclose uko na HIV or any other thing. Use ile science wanasomanga shule, the germs and the viruses. So at least anajua, because atauliza tu hii dawa namezanga kila siku, mama ananiambia ni ya kifua na mimi sina shida ya kifua. So we try to tell them it's good that child would grow knowing better that niko na HIV. Because you find when a kid
it's okay. Keep talking.
When these kids grow up to a stage where they like tuseme 15 to 16 years and akuje kugundua alikuwa na meza dawa ya HIV, they are so bitter about it. Most of them, kuna kijana alisema mimi naweza ua mamangu, alitutumia kwa Facebook, I think on Facebook. I'm feeling I want to kill my mother because hakuniambia. Wengine watakwambia I hate my dad ndio alitulia HIV. But ukiongea na this child utapata alipata kujua the HIV status akiwa mkubwa. But akianza pale mwanzo mtapelekana tu vizuri, so atagrow akijua I need to take my medication daily, and why am I taking my medication. And this is where I always tell these young boys and girls, si kuna germs, so ukiumwa na tumbo ni juu ulikula germs.
Yes.
So kuna germs na kuna virus. Germs is a dying ni kitu inaweza kufa, but virus haikufangi. So na ndio tusiwe wagonjwa, tutafanyaje juu tuko na hiyo virus? It's because ni lazima tumeze dawa kila siku ndio ilale. So naambia virus yenye tuko nayo ni ya kulala. Zile zingine ni za kukufa. That's why unameza dawa.
Yeah. Man, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. Getting them to accept and getting them to understand all this.
Also you'll find my kid will always ask, umemwambia but atakuuliza tena. Namkumbusha nilikuambia germs zenye uko nazo zinaitwa virus na virus haikufi. So you have to take your medicine daily ndio zilale usiwe mgonjwa. And like the case Madam has said, that girl was a friend to my kid. and she was very much affected. So nilimwambia don't hide, usimwambie, mwambie ukweli. Nilimwambia unaona venye your friend imefanyika, so pia wewe meza dawa yako vizuri ndio isikufanyikie hivyo. We wouldn't like to lose you. So unapata when she goes kwa the brothers or the sisters, kitu ya kwanza kuuliza umebeba dawa, na akisahau nitapigiwa simu.
Alisahau dawa.
Kwanza wanamuitanga mtoto juu ni the youngest. Mtoto amesahau dawa.
Wow.
So I feel good
that
knowing that they do care.
They do care. Oh, that's amazing. So where is Kipewa? And how do people get to access it? Because I know there are very many people out here who would wish to probably just get a support group, you know, get into a place where they can have their glory revived again. Yeah, because you know there's struggle living in the office setup again. Kuna wengine wako na kazi tu. You don't even want to go to the office because you feel like everybody knows and everybody sees and all that. So where do they get you?
We are in Kiambu, at a place called Rudhurieni. It's near Kirigiti on the way to Riabai.
Yeah.
And what we usually say, if you want to come to Kipewa and you get to Kiambu, call us, we'll get you there. We'll get you from wherever you are in Kiambu. We'll remove the hassle for you looking for us. We'll come for you. Way. Yeah. Oh, and if you're a person who can do a pin, we'll give you a pin location.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So persons with pre-existing conditions after COVID-19 was declared, the fear was real. How was it for you with COVID-19? Alafu kwanza, it came at a time where in the country unasikia tena ARVs are not in circulation. So there was so much fear. How was it?
Okay, I remember at that time I was in a health facility. I was working there, and when it was like when you are na comorbidities, they are at risk. So we thought by the next month tutakuwa tumeisha. There was a lot of fear.
Yeah.
In fact, I discussed yesterday with my colleagues. We used to open the door with a kick because utaki ku touch the hand. Uko hosi. Uko hosi na hii hand inashikwa na every client mwenye anaingia. So pia daktari tulikuwa tunaambia daktari hapana. So where I was, we were 3 of us. So tulikuwa tunaambia client akiingia usifunge mlango, na unakumbuka the stigma inakuanga with HIV. So this client just want to get in na afunge mlango ndio mtu mwingine akipita asimuone. So tunamwambia hapana, you can't close the door. So mtalan tu kuonekana mko nayo because this is real. And at that point, this is where I knew people were they have self-stigma. And I usually say, Linda, yes, niko na HIV na staki nijulikane. But ukikatwa mguu nani hataona umekatwa mguu. I usually meet a girl in Kiambu town, hana mguu moja, but that girl is very jovial. Na muonanga tu roho yangu inafurahi juu. Nikimwona naona ame-accept. Hana mguu, a very beautiful lady, a young lady. So nasema si ame-accept situation yake. Anatembea tu na clutches, anacheka na wengine. So kukubali na kujijua and saying whom I am ni kitu ya maana sana. In fact, in Kipewa we have a slogan which we say, I'm not my diagnosis. And being in Kipewa for me, it has really changed my life. It has really made me another person because nimeweza ku come out and speak about my status. Kuambia wa mama mnaweza, you can bring up your children.
How long did it take you to start speaking about it confidently?
It didn't take long because what happened, as I told you, my husband alikuja akiwa stage 4. And sikuwa na gari ati nitamweka kwa gari nimpeleke clinic.
Niko bodaboda.
Niko bodaboda, so kila mtu anamuona venye amekonda everything. So it came out, kila mtu alijua. But to me nikasema I'll embrace that. Because si wamejua, the better wamejua. So I'm happy because everybody who knows ni akona friend mwenye akona HIV na amekataa na wanaanga kwangu tu.
Wow.
So I would like you to come uongee na fulani. So and I would like to say I feel good when I help people because pia mimi nilisaidiwa na watu nikajikubali, hata kama watu walijua venye siku nataka disclosure itoke, but walijua nitafanya nini, and then ukijua my HIV status utadu.
Well, all right, we
I
need
am
to get to
whom
that
I am.
point. That's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
utadu.
Yeah.
I'll continue to be Sarah Makena Ngige. I'll continue to be a wife. I'll continue to be a mother, a grandmother, and I'll graduate to the other level.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you make money and you're doing what you're doing to fend for your family, which is a great thing.
So HIV haijanihinda nisifanye kazi zangu.
Yeah.
I have to live my dreams. I have to, kama nataka kujenga nyumba ya ghorofa 5 nitajenga.
Wow.
Yeah. Kama nataka kudrive, I'll drive.
Yeah.
I always tell my kid, you know what? Mungu husoma pia. Mungu, the Bible says that God fulfills our desires.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, do you know what means sitakufa kama sita drive? Hata kama nikale kafits kadudu, nita drive. Lazima.
Oh, nice. All the best.
Because kwani kuwa na HIV many data from
Nothing.
And that is our
Director,
slogan.
yes.
I am not my diagnosis.
Yeah.
Speak to them. Tell them as we come to a close. And probably, is it HIV and AIDS pekeke that you deal with, or there are other, conditions in society that you embrace, or maybe people who are going through different difficulties? Yeah.
We mainly focus on HIV because
Yeah.
that's where we started. But with the emerging trends, these days we have to address issues of diabetes, issues of cancer. So what we do, we liaise with the hospital so that the person gets holistic care. Yeah, and our main thing being HIV, what we are saying, as you have heard her, is that I am not my diagnosis. We actually started a fashion show.
Oh,
Models are HIV, beauty pageants.
Nice.
Yeah, models are HIV positive. They are strutting. They are saying, Mimi, I'm positive.
Wow.
Utadu nini?
Okay,
Utafanya?
Nice.
Join me and let's continue living.
That's true.
Because that's the main thing. What has happened with stigma, it tries to limit the person. And it's stigma of any kind. Even you can have stigma because you are a single mother or the drunk person, but you need to rise up from that situation. Those tags that people have given you. Those tags that now wale watu wa HIV yaki. Si wamekonda. Lakini these days they are saying
so beautiful,
again,
my God.
Siku hizi wanasema tena tumenona sana.
I know.
Waezi jua.
But it's true, it is the truth though. Wezi jua. In fact, squeeze ni ngumu zaidi. And the beauty of it is that people like Sarah are coming out here to say we are not interested in spreading it further.
Yes.
We are interested in zeroing the number. And so you need to be careful.
Yes.
Sarah ukimuona ni mrembo, probably she was part of the bid pageant.
I was.
She was.
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook page, Kipewa, it's KIPEWA with a red ribbon and a green tree. You'll find us there. I was there with a bodysuits.
Mother, hata akiniambia kuna watoto wasije niko like, mbona tunadanganywa hapa? But all the same, it is that good, but it is that bad at the same time. You need to be careful. In 30 seconds as we close. Ongelesha watu, and you tell them the number, how they get a hold of you. 30 seconds.
Okay, I would like to tell people out there, HIV is real. We need to be careful. We need to protect ourselves from HIV. So let's protect ourselves. It is real. And once you test HIV positive, the drugs adhere well, and life will be beautiful. For me, life is beautiful.
That's
Amen.
good.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Yeah. For me, I would like to say, once you know somebody's status, they're HIV positive, don't be afraid. Support them, love them, and you also test. Because you are busy pointing and you
fingers and you don't know whether you're safe.
And let's allow everybody to live. And as we have said, I am not my diagnosis. Don't let that diagnosis define you. And Kipewa's number is 0795 579 399.
Reach out. 075 95
579 399.
All right, it could be you, it could be your friend. Please make sure that they reach out. It is very, very important to have people who value you and remind you that, after all, it's not a death sentence as they used to think. Life goes on. Every day another baby is born.
Yes.
Test.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Today you're positive, or today you're negative, tomorrow you're positive. Tomorrow you're positive, you can never be negative. As of course Sarah would say. Thank you so much, ladies. Grace Waruguru Kiari, Director Kipewa, and Sarah Makena Ngige, of course, has shared her story. We are happy. It's always good to have people who come out to share and remind us that, life goes on, but importantly, you need to take care of yourself. It was good having you. I look forward to see you again tomorrow. My name is Linda Alela. I hope to get a hold of you another time.